Hello, today's presentation will be discussing how to implement a functional analysis. Here is an outline of what we will be discussing today. Before we get into the topic of how to implement a functional analysis procedure and the conditions, I will give a brief overview of what a functional analysis means and what functional behavior assessments are. What does functional analysis mean? Functional analysis are procedures conducted by trained professionals. They are used to determine the purpose of a problem behavior for an individual. We observe and measure their behavior by experimentally contriving specific situations in the natural environment where we take data on the antecedent and consequence of the behavior. Antecedents are the events that happen right before a behavior occurs, and consequences are the events that follow once the behavior has occurred. Once we can identify the function, we can then develop a proper intervention plan to treat the behavior for that individual. The goal of a functional analysis of behavior is to gain an understanding, develop a treatment, and prevent the maladaptive behavior from occurring. The purpose of a functional behavior assessment, or FBA, is to help identify the purpose a behavior serves for the person, what is motivating their behavior. It uses information from interviews, rating scales, and direct observations. The results are then used to help to create and design an intervention that will decrease the problem behavior and increase appropriate behavior. That's when the functional analysis comes in. It's then used to determine which condition produced the highest frequency of behavior, and we can be more confident that the behavior serves the function or functions we'd previously hypothesized. These conditions include play, attention, automatic, escape, and tangible. Now we will talk about each condition. The first is the play condition. This is the baseline or control condition against which all other conditions are measured. During this condition, the client is provided with access to all of their known preferred items and activities at once, and no demands or prompts are placed. There is usually very little motivation to engage in problem behavior, so no behaviors are typically observed. However, if the client demonstrates the problem behavior, the clinician should ignore the behavior and redirect only if necessary. For example, if the client engages in property destruction by throwing the preferred item at you, the clinician, then you can respond by ignoring the behavior and pick up another preferred item, such as a car, and ask the client if they want to race. The next condition is attention. During this condition, the clinician will withhold their attention from the client by pretending to be distracted. Then every time the target behavior occurs, attention is provided. This could be pleasant or soothing attention, or mildly unpleasant attention. If the behavior stops or increases as compared to the control condition, it indicates that social attention functions as reinforcement for the maladaptive behavior. Next, we will discuss the alone or automatic condition. The alone condition is a test to determine if the problem behavior occurs for non-social reasons, meaning that the behavior is likely to occur when they are by themselves. In this condition, the individual is usually left alone for some period of time to see if the behavior persists when no one else is present. The observer can observe through a two-way mirror or a camera. If the behavior persists while no one else is present, it suggests that they are not engaging in the behavior for social reasons. This is referred to as automatic reinforcement. If the problem behavior is demonstrated, the behavior will be ignored or neutrally redirected if necessary for their safety. For example, if the problem behavior is hand flapping and the client begins to flap their hands during the alone condition, you would ignore the behavior and not interact. Next is the escape condition. During this condition, the clinician will deliver non-preferred demands or tasks. If the target behavior is demonstrated, escape from demands is provided, including a break from the task. Usually the breaks are time limited to about 15 to 30 seconds. For example, if the problem behavior is screaming and the client begins to scream when presented with a homework assignment, you would remove the task and demands, then observe if the problem behavior stopped. Last, we will discuss the tangible condition. The tangible condition is another test to determine if problem behavior is maintained by access to preferred items or activities. During this condition, the client has access to a highly preferred item or activity. Then access to that preferred item or activity is removed. The client will still have access to neutral items and activities during this time. If the target behavior is demonstrated, then access to the highly preferred item or activity is provided. If the individual engages in high rates of inappropriate behavior in this condition, it indicates that problem behavior occurs to access preferred items. Thank you for watching my presentation. We have discussed how to implement a functional analysis, what a functional behavior assessment is, and the procedure on how to implement each condition. Are there any questions? Here are my references. Thank you.